She was like, "Oh, you should go to this Colombian restaurant," and I was just starting this, so I decided to come here and ask them if they knew people who were doing growing, um, food supplying, cooking, and sharing food, because we thought that these four aspects or four roles were really important to understand the food system in our neighborhood. So this was like the very first thought, and the methodology that we wanted to use was coming here and asking for people's recommendations, your recommendations, because I didn't want to just go randomly around or just using Pembroke House networks, because we also wanted to meet new people. So because of them, I was able to meet Fernando. He's also over here. He's not in the room right now, but he owns a Colombian restaurant on the Ocean Road. And it was really nice because I started navigating the neighborhood and seeing all your networks. Because of him, I also started meeting other Latin American businesses. And it was very interesting because we saw that between cultures, people were connected. So Latin American business were connected, they knew about each other, but they were not necessarily collaborating or doing things together. So that was a first very interesting finding. And people were very keen to collaborate. People wanted to talk to each other or maybe talk about common topics like the insecurity in the streets or the cost of living or maybe strategies for attracting more customers. And they're all having the same questions, but not necessarily finding a space for this topic. So that was one very first interesting finding that we had. But then we also wanted to find other people from other communities and other nationalities. So I started also walking and asking people around, do you know more people who are doing growing? Do you know more people who are doing maybe food supply? So by that point, I met a few people. So the order is not right, but for example, I met Luisa. I already met Luisa. I already knew her because
you're a customer.
Because I'm a customer and also because she's very close to LCC. I started at LCC, so we were doing things together with Latin Elephant as well. But she also told me about people who were doing growing. She told me about some projects who were also connected with people that I heard of because of Richard, who's also a grower. But then, because of all these connections, I met Chess. She has a community garden over here around this area. And then I also met Milo Capucin, who's also a food grower. And I started seeing connections between the things that you were doing, guys. So Milo is interested in heritage food. He was growing Latin American food, so he actually grew and harvested this archucha. And because I saw that he was interested in Latin American food, and I saw this huge opportunity because you said, I'm growing this, I'm a chef, but I don't know how to cook it, so I want this to have a good end. So we brought the archucha, and Ladi cooked this. So this is also tu plato. So this is an example of things that we started seeing that are very interesting, and people who were also interested in heritage food, like Chess. You were telling me that you have different nationalities in your garden, and Capucin is also very interested in getting to know more gardeners around the area, or maybe getting people coming to her garden. So we see that there's a huge opportunity for bridging that gap between gardeners and cooks, for example, or bridging that gap between different cultures and nationalities, because people are interested in different foods, but not necessarily connecting with each other. So, Ola, who is from Nigeria, he's very interested in growing herbs from Nigeria as well for his business. And he's also very keen to bring seeds from Nigeria and then asking some of the growers to grow these herbs for him. So that was another big finding. And then last of all, something else that I wanted to tell you is that, for example, Cam and Samar, here Cam is over there, if you can read. They are local chefs, and Cam, she has her own business, she does catering, but she's also exploring and developing recipes. Sama is an amazing cook. She also cooks amazing vegan and vegetarian dishes, and they're really keen to upskill or improving their cooking skills. So for them, connecting with other business owners who have more experience in the area, like Luisa.
Please,
Or
don't I can learn from them.
Like,
I'm just winging it every day. Don't worry about that, my dear. Seriously.
Yes. So you can connect with each other. You can learn from what you have gone through for a long period. Or also Sama, she's very happy to share with you guys about Algerian food, about her experience cooking for schools, running business, running cafes, community cafes. So yes, this is like an overview so far what I found, and it was just amazing to see how many opportunities we can work on, and that's a very short review. But now I'd like to give you space and time to explore them up a little bit if you want to read the description. So basically they part, what they have is the name of the food lover, a short story about you, and also if you don't feel represented with these stories, also let me know, and I can also tweak some things, change or add or take out some details. But yeah, you'll be able to find name, story, type of food that you're interested in or that you're cooking, and things that you said that you're willing to share, and things that you're happy to receive. So take a closer look and see if you're interested in connecting with someone in the room. You have your names and also the number of the stop. So if you feel like talking to Luisa or talking to Capucine or talking to Claire, just get together and maybe try to find out something that you're curious about knowing about that person. And you don't have to stay with that person for the whole time. If you want to mingle and chat with other people around, that's
It's like
also
food dating.
And I think we're gonna give us a half an hour to chat, and then coming back to share a little bit of those things that you learn from each other. So if that sounds all right.
That sounds great. Thank you. Thank you.